everybody, thank you for tuning in for another Tailgate Pad Tuesday series review. Today we have the Swagman Paramount. We have been reviewing a lot of tailgate pads in this series. We would like to thank CompetitiveCyclist.com for extending a discount code on all applicable items, and that is Loam Wolf 15. Also, as part of this series, we're going to be giving away a lot of these pads as we are done using them now. We also had some of the company send us brand new pads for this giveaway specifically, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. We're going to be giving away some instructions as we work through this series on how you can win yourself a new tailgate pad. So, Dustin, right now the Swagman is on your truck. We've bounced it around on a few different vehicles. Let's share some of your thoughts and inputs on the old trusty F-250 here.
So we have the Swagman Paramount. It comes in at $235. This is a full-size tailgate pad as seen on my F-250. It is a tarpaulin outer cover with a fleece liner, and sandwiched in between is that lovely dense foam that we see in most tailgate pads. Theirs is pretty thick, which I think is a plus. They do claim to hold 7 bikes on this full-size tailgate pad, and to support that are these big pads up front to keep the fork stanchions and the bike secure. As we dive into even the second bike on this pad, you're not really making contact with those pads behind. Kind of makes it a problem up front there. But beyond that, we have all the straps on top. These straps are plenty long. We compared them to the e-bike straps from Evoc, and they are about a couple inches shorter. Compared to most tailgate pads, these are on the size large for most pads. They fit e-bike lights. I believe we've got it to fit on the Levo.
Yeah, some of the thinner e-bike.
Yeah, Norco VLT series. I just don't think it's going to happen. But hey, 900 watt-hour batteries, so you win some, you lose some. Smaller bikes, you got plenty of room to cinch it down on, and enough hook and loop in that strap to make sure you are getting contact.
The bumpers are there, the straps are there. They're claiming 7 bikes, but you're not really loving 7 bikes on this pad.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna trust me with your bikes, I will throw 7 on there. They will fit, I'll make it happen. But if it's 7 of my bikes, 7 of our bikes, I just don't feel comfortable pushing it that far. 5, maybe, which is still, it's a good day. I mean, my truck's full, most trucks are full. 7 bikes, I don't know where you're putting those people except for back of the truck.
So if you're shuttling, you could do it.
Yeah, shuttling. A lot of guys don't even strap down when they shuttle, so I guess that's not a problem for them. So once you got all your bikes on there, you do have this lovely access pad to get in there. With any pad, if you have a tire in the way, it's gonna be hard to get into that access pad. But this is a very large one compared to a lot of other pads on the market. So it comes about halfway down on the front side of the tailgate. So if you have a lower tailgate latch than myself, plenty of room there to get to it. Up top there's a clip, and you could fold it over and clip it on the backside to keep it wrapped over. As you can see here is that fleece liner. Think to yourself foam sponge that you're going to be using to wash your truck. It's kind of that looser weft fleece, and much the same as that sponge. If it gets wet, I'd be worried about it kind of keeping its softness. Is that softness? And rainy days, mud, if your tires are rubbing on it, when it folds over, it could make contact on your tailgate. Obviously, work truck here, so I'm not too concerned, but other people might be less enthused with the markings that it will leave. One of the unique features that we find on this tailgate pad that I haven't seen on any pad yet is this mesh basket kind of thing on the backside. It's a pocket, and it's meant for your helmets or maybe your muddy shoes or something. Obviously, if you have 7 bikes in there, I don't really see how you're getting access to it, and the angle of a down tube, if you have a full face helmet in there, I don't think that it's size of a basketball underneath your down tube on your tailgate. It's just not going to fit the best way. But 1 or 2 bikes over there, this is a great spot to store muddy gear, and you're not going to have to worry about it flying out.
Yeah, it's also great for air drying, right? Like in the hotter summer months, you can put your gloves, goggles, and all that stuff in there and let it air dry. Trail helmets would still fit, I think, pretty well. And and hopefully lose a little bit of sweat on the way home. Knee pads.
Knee pads.
That's a key one.
So as you can see, it almost covers full width of a full-size truck. There is a little bit of a gap on my truck. I know on the Chevy, it was much closer to the edge, so it is gonna be truck specific there. And it has good coverage all the way down. And to me, I like that. I don't like seeing half the paint of my tailgate, you know, from behind. It just looks like it's too small on there. But hey, maybe some guys like it, I don't know. And to keep that wrapped down, this one also has just a 3-point contact for cinch strapping that to your tailgate pad. I think with full-size trucks, moving to that 4 points of contact there really helps keep the tailgate pad from bubbling out and kind of getting some of the elements behind the pad there. It's more aesthetic, I guess, than anything, but not my favorite thing to have that flapping around and getting some of that road grime in there. I think this pad does a really good job at actual protection of your tailgate in accompaniment with keeping your bike protected. The foam in there is really noticeable, and you could tell compared to some other pads that, like I was saying, this softness here, that thick foam pad helps keep that rigidity there, but also protects not only the forks from the front side of the tailgate, it protects those down tubes on the backside as well. And you know, when you're hitting those bumpy, rocky roads or just a normal road in Oregon, bikes hit and go up and down, and you know, it helps keep those kind of compressed in a way that is dampening that, you know, abrasive motion.
Paint protection, we like. Bike protection is good. Bike retention, I think is the fork bumper thing seems like it's a little bit of a miss. The concept is there, like when you see that, you get really excited, like, oh cool, this thing's got spots for all the forks to fit in nicely, but very quickly you find out that they're not sitting in there because they're elevated off the tailgate pad, and then you kind of wonder, like, what's the point of even having them there?
Yeah, absolutely. One bike on it, you're like, oh, this is the right idea here. And I think immediately we see the downfall there. You gap them out. It is a little too wide. I think version 2, they might get it on par, and kind of feel like we're saying that a lot about other tailgate pads, is that, oh, this is really cool, but next time they'll probably get it dialed in there, right? I don't know though. The claim for 7 bikes is, again, another one of those things that it's not visual, but you see it and you read it and you're like, 7 bikes, I'm in, that's great. But again, kind of misses the mark. I don't know anyone that's shuttling 7 bikes on a tailgate. That's a lot.
Dude,
you doing it?
Bro.
Throwing 7?
All the time back in the day. That
Well,
was
then
that was a
retract it.
regular occurrence. But we used to also flip the bikes upside down and run them perpendicular in the bed. And that, we got a lot of bikes in that way, and then you just sit in between them. But yeah, dude, for shuttling, man, you can get as many bikes in as you can. But yeah, I think as far as the straps and the bumpers go, maybe if you skip every other spot, like if you put 4 bikes in here, then maybe they would fit between those bumpers a little better. But
and it works out fast. You know, with one just over, suddenly you see, oh, that spacing is nice. We're in the right spot. And so I think spacing is just a downfall there. It's a little bit overachieving and high hopes there.
And I feel like maybe if they just got rid of those bumpers, they might be able to drop the price of this tailgate pad down a bit, which is pretty high.
Of all the tailgate pads that we've, I think, ever reviewed, this is the most expensive pad we've ever seen at $235. Yeah, the construction, the quality, the material, the stitching, it isn't bad. It's really, you know, high industry standard. But again, it's just $235. That's a lot of money for a tailgate pad, for one that specifically just doesn't fit perfect for the bikes.
Yeah, there's other pads that will carry as many bikes as well that don't cost as much.
Absolutely.
So you get the storage net in the back, and I guess that's ultimately the deciding factor on if it's worth that upgrade.
Yeah.
Okay. So overall thoughts? I mean, how do you like it? Where would you rate it? Middle pack, top of the pack?
Yeah, absolutely.
High on the list?
I think you know, with all the pads that we're kind of bringing together here, I think it sits very solid in the middle. It has the huge appeal of large volume. That little pocket in the back is kind of funky, but like it is cool in actual application and being able to use it and have a place to put stuff instead of just throwing it in the back of the truck, which I normally do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it holds its own in the middle there. It's just a little bit too pricey and it doesn't quite hold the bikes as well as I would like to see a tailgate pad.
And I don't like that. I'm not a fan of big, loud logos.
Yeah.
But you know,
Swagman?
No, I'm not super into the big Swagman logo. But if that was like black on black, I think that'd be pretty sweet. But yeah. So that is the Swagman Paramount Tailgate Pad. A solid offering overall. It sounds like the team liked it. We had it on a few different trucks. But it sounds like for the price, it doesn't really do things that much better than other pads that are a little bit more affordable. And maybe some refinements in the fork bumpers and the spacing could be done better in the future, but it holds bikes well, it protects paint well, it offers a lot of cushion and padding, and we really like that little storage net feature in the back. You can put knee pads and gear in. So overall, a really solid pad. I think the price is if this thing was 180 bucks, how much better would you feel about it?
Much better.
Okay. All right. Well, there it is, folks. Once again, don't forget to use the Lone Wolf 15 discount code at competitivecyclist.com on any applicable items in their web store. And be sure to subscribe to the channel. As I said earlier, we're going to be giving away a lot of the tailgate pads. Some of these brands were kind enough to send us 2 pads, and I mean, after we're done, we don't have that many trucks. So we're going to try to stoke you guys out with as many of these pads as possible. So please subscribe and leave a comment down below, and stay tuned for you to find out how to win a pad for yourself. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next vid.